Tonight we're discussing a proposal that has sparked considerable controversy in Kingston. A stadium proposed for the Kingston Memorial Centre grounds. City Council is currently deliberating this plan, and several issues have been raised, including leasing public open space to a private developer and the potential impact on the surrounding residential neighborhood. On Sunday, March the 2nd, the Williamsville Community Association and Friends of the Memorial Centre will host a town hall to bring the community together on this issue. Joining me to discuss are Annette Burfoot and Fiona Charles, co-chairs of the Williamsville Community Association. Thank you for coming in and talking to us today.
Thank you.
Yes.
First question is, it's a big discussion. We're talking off camera. And
For sure.
can you briefly explain the Memorial Centre Stadium proposal and what's driving this debate?
It's being driven by a private promoter who approached the city with a plan to build a stadium. It's not clear to me that he came looking for the Memorial Centre, but it seems pretty clear that the staff pointed him in that direction. The way the city is positioning it is that the land would be leased to the developer, but it would be a for-profit operation. He expects or anticipates perhaps that he might be able to bring a professional soccer team here and a couple of semi-professional teams. There's absolutely no guarantee of that. And the rest of the time it could potentially be leased or rented out to community groups. That's the proposal, but it would take approximately, well, we've been told about 40% of the open space behind the Memorial Centre, but we have never seen an actual drawing. We've only seen a conceptual drawing, and I think it's not really, we've seen so many different facts or factoids, if you like, about how big it's going to be that we really don't have a good idea of that.
That's right. So we've been very busy. When we learned about it, like most people, first thing in the new year, we were shocked. And as a community association, we immediately went into action to see how people felt about this. One of those things was an online petition. We now have over 6,500 people who've signed to halt the stadium project at the Memorial Centre. I am now going through the comments. There are almost 300 very lengthy, very well thought out comments that are associated with those signatures. It is remarkable to me what is being said. Every comment is someone who uses the Memorial Centre in some way. And one of the hardest things to try and demonstrate is how important this seemingly not gorgeous public space is, and it is fundamentally important to at least 3 city districts, which is why we're holding the town hall, is to give people the chance to tell us in their words why this doesn't work. And it's about open space, it's about informal use of the space for dog walking, for running, for learning to ride a bike, flying a kite. 2 very important community-based groups have arisen through this kind of space. One is the very successful farmers market, and the other is a cricket league. And it's the only place people who play cricket in Kingston can play between here and Toronto, I heard. Is that correct?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. It's also the only accessible dog park in the
That's
city, and the only one downtown. And it's the only running track, as far as we've been able to tell, that is
Public running track.
public
Yeah.
running track that is free for anyone to use. So people walk on it, they run on it, they ride bikes on it, they teach their kids to ride bikes on it. One of the things that I found really remarkable about this whole process is learning just how many people use the space.
Yes.
And in so many different ways.
Yes.
I mean, only last night we learned that some people are brought, people who are doing rehab,
Yeah.
physical rehab, are brought to the grounds to walk around the track.
Yeah.
The pole walking class at the
Yes.
senior center
Yes.
was using the walking track.
Yes.
So there's a whole lot there that I think the city staff were not perhaps aware of.
I agree.
And that we are only marginally aware of some of it.
That's right.
And we're certainly aware of the fact that it's a well-used space.
And in addition to that, it's very precious. It's precious because it's open and green. I don't care about the pad. People keep talking about a concrete pad. Yes, there's a concrete pad to run the midway, but there's also a lot of green space. There are trees there. There's a pollinator garden, and it's open.
Yeah.
In a district that has the least amount of open parkland space in the city and beyond per capita. It is a very densely populated area. It's also all three districts that hone in on the Memorial Centre are what I would describe as lower socioeconomic. The most affordable housing in Kingston are in these locations. This space is recreational space for a lot of people who could not afford to have recreation and active lifestyles otherwise.
And we were chatting earlier about the small amount of green space in the three districts that were sort of-
Very small.
Yeah.
and obviously that's a major concern to the residents if
And
they're
this
losing.
city purports to support active lifestyles.
Yeah.
This is essential to these districts as an active, a site of active lifestyle that they can afford, that's accessible.
Yeah. So people who can't afford to put the kid on a team, you know, the stadium is all about team sports, and certainly we don't have anything
We
against
have
team
nothing
sports.
against
We
team
don't have
sports.
anything against soccer. We don't have anything against a stadium.
No.
Put it somewhere else, please.
Yeah.
Not in our park. Not in our neighborhood.
And I was going to say, is there anything positive about the proposal, about if it moves forward? I know it's kind of a loaded.
I think
Question.
it could be very positive for people who play on soccer teams to have an indoor space to play and to practice during the winter. Just not here.
So one thing it's been positive for me is I've learned about the soccer associations in Kingston.
Yeah.
And was talking to somebody high up in one of the associations at the market on Sunday, and I asked, what does the stadium mean to you? And they said, oh, it's going to raise the level of play in Kingston in a growing area. Soccer's a real growing sport. And I said, that's wonderful. I'm 100% behind it. Not here.
On March the 2nd, you're bringing communities together. Let's talk a little bit about why this event is important for the community, why they should come.
A petition of 6,500 people is remarkable for the city. I think it's the largest petition ever generated on an issue. Even the city's survey has over 800, is that correct?
I heard that last night. I'm not absolutely positive, so I
Okay, but they usually get 200 on their surveys. So yes, the public is very eager to speak. And we, as an association, tend to have town halls. We tend to have one once a year. It's a nice kind of coincidence that this could be our town hall, and we can't ignore the public outcry.
This gives people an opportunity to speak in an unfiltered way.
Yeah.
They're not being, responding to structured questions by the city, some of which are not very appropriate for informal use of the space and community use of the space. They're aimed at organizations and people who put on events.
Right.
Have you invited the city councillors
Of
or the
Yes, I just
promoter?
sent the invite this morning. The
And the
mayor and all city councillors.
Have they responded
We
back? or-
know that our councillor, Vincent Giannani, is coming, and I think he's bringing a few with him.
And if people wanted to do some preliminary research, website, something they can
Yep,
find?
Friends of Kingston Memorial Centre has a Facebook page, and we urge people to go there. There's a lot of information there.
Okay. One last time, call to action, where, time, place.
March 2nd, starting at 2 p.m., so that's Sunday, so it's after the market, and it's at St. Luke's Church Hall. And St. Luke's Church is almost kitty corner to Memorial Centre
Okay,
on Nelson Street.
thanks for being here.
Thank you.